Nastya had never been attracted to men like Maxim. He was tall and thin, and despite his youth, he had a bald spot on the top of his head. At first it seemed that they had little in common, and they socialized mostly in their circle of friends. But one day Max was the only person who supported Nastya in a difficult moment. This incident brought them closer together, and Nastya realized that she could not find a better man than him. Maxim, on the contrary, cautiously sought Nastya, knowing perfectly well that she was not up to him. Therefore, when she accepted his advances and agreed to go out with him, he was overjoyed. Their relationship quickly developed, and after 2 weeks, Maxim introduced Anastasia to his house. A few months later, the couple secretly married in the registry office. Maxim's mother was shocked and advised her son not to make such important decisions so quickly. But he brushed off her concerns, saying that above all he believed in the strength of their relationship. One evening, when they were sitting on the couch together and watching a movie, Nastya received a text message on her phone. Kristina invited me to her birthday party. She rented a house outside the city, and there will be a big celebration. Nastya informed her husband, "It's a pity you won't be able to join me, as you have a business trip planned for that time." Maxim was upset, but he didn't show it. He disliked Kristina, thinking her too frivolous and easily influenced, and worried that she might lead Nastya astray. Nevertheless, he valued their relationship and trusted his wife, so he allowed her to come to the party alone, although later it turned out to be a mistake. At the birthday party was really crowded. A lot of people gathered. Kristina celebrated her 30th birthday in the American style, with a swimming pool, a lot of alcohol, and numerous private rooms where guests could have privacy. "Nastya, meet my colleague." A friend introduced Nastya to the young man. She couldn't help but appreciate his handsome facial features, light stubble, and stylishly groomed hair, which he corrected with a familiar gesture. Robert extended his hand to her, and Nastya reflexively shook it, then joined the rest of the guests. Anastasia felt awkward in the presence of a stranger, so she began to empty her cocktail glass more often. "Would you like some more?" the guest asked thoughtfully, noticing that her glass had run out. Nastya nodded in agreement. After the 5th glass, she realized she was completely intoxicated. She began to like his jokes, and she eagerly joined the conversation, talking about herself and listening to his stories. It wasn't long before they were in one of the bedrooms on the 2nd floor. She would later wonder about her actions, but the memory of that moment awakened new, uncharted emotions in her. Robert exchanged contact information, and Nastya did not hide it under another name, being sure that her husband would not check her phone because of the level of trust between them. Maxim began to notice that his wife was spending more and more time with her phone, constantly engrossed in correspondence with someone and smiling at the screen. Gasping with jealousy, he asked who had cheered her up so much. Nastya replied that she was just chatting with friends in a general chat room. It's been like this for over a month since the party. Robert and Anastasia did not officially meet, but they corresponded every day. She really liked communicating with him, and her thoughts often revolved around him, which made Maxim move to the background. She even began to refuse to be intimate with him, which hurt Maxim deeply. One evening, as his wife was leaving to go to the bathroom, Max noticed her phone lying on the charger. Despite his initial hesitation, Max eventually gave in to curiosity and decided to enter the familiar password. Scrolling through her phone, he came across a conversation between his friend Kristina and his wife. Words like, "I want to find someone more suitable than Maxim," immediately caught his attention. Intrigued, Max began to read the conversation more closely, and what he discovered sent shivers down his spine. The correspondence revealed that Nastya had had an affair with another man and was still in contact with him. Just as Max was digesting this shocking revelation, a notification from a certain Robert appeared on the screen, confirming his suspicions. He opened their chat history and was shocked by their frank conversations and photo exchanges. At that moment, he was startled from behind by his wife's voice asking what he was doing. Max was so engrossed in the discovery that he didn't notice Nastya finishing her shower and walking over to him. Reacting to her surprise, he quickly pointed to the conversation with Robert and asked what it was about. Nastya tried to snatch the phone, but Max held it firmly. Maxim towered over Nastya, using his height advantage to keep her at a distance. Although he understood the situation perfectly, he insisted on hearing the truth directly from his wife. Nastya hesitated, frantically rubbing the waistband of the robe she wore after her shower, as she told him about having an affair with Robert instead of giving birth to her daughter Christina. Tears streamed down her face as she begged Maxim to start over and forget about her betrayal. However, Maxim said that he wasn't ready for that at the moment and needed time to think about it. But even after that time had passed, he couldn't bring himself to forgive her. Although he tried to come to terms with the situation and maintain the facade of their former love and friendship, it was clear to Maxim that Nastya perceived him solely as a friend whom she could easily neglect by cheating on him. Realizing this pushed Maxim to make a difficult decision. Divorce was the only way out, no matter how sincerely he tried to forgive his wife. The pain of her betrayal was too strong. Nastya had to leave with Christina, and after a few weeks of living together, she eventually moved to Robert. However, not immediately she realized that Robert was not at all the man he claimed to be. In fact, he was impolite, and had a serious drinking problem, which Nastya had always feared. As soon as he exceeded his alcohol limit, Robert turned into an uncontrollable, violent man who could attack anyone, including Nastya, for the slightest misdemeanor. After the third such incident, Nastya found the courage to leave and seek refuge in a rented apartment. Anastasia found herself in a new situation. Now she had to navigate her life and solve her problems on her own. In the evenings, she wallowed in self-pity, remembering her ex-husband. Unfortunately, Anastasia realized too late that her impulsive decision was a grave mistake. Instead of leading to a positive result, it only led to the destruction of everything she and Maxim had painstakingly built over a long period of time.